Good morning, and I have not been out yet, so I don't know how cold it may or may not be. Lots of people like fall or winter. Fall, I can deal with. Winter, I am a summer person. What can I say? For all my dark gothic tendencies, I'm a summer person. Give me sunshine. So, good morning. You know, this morning I was grabbing my deck of cards, so I had it in my head what deck I was going to use. And it wasn't this particular deck. And it just reminded me, one of the important things about intuitive reading. Good morning there, Maureen. One of the things about intuitive reading is not fighting the universe, but just trusting the omens, trusting the signs and symbols, because a reading is not when you put down the first card. A reading starts when you first walk in the room, or even before that. So, and it just reminded me because, again, I just had my mind set on using a different set of cards, kind of a similar backing. I pulled these out, and it's like, you know, you just have to trust. So I sat here, shuffling, listening to the cards like they are the sounds of the waves. You should try it just for about 5 minutes. Not doing the really thing. If it's really tough on your fingers, don't do it. But I know that for me, it's easy to shuffle, so I can just listen to the cards, and it just becomes very meditative. And I can let my shoulders relax. Let my neck relax. And just kind of ask the universe now for the tips or the tricks, or if there's angers or resentments. This is our daily inventory. You know, part of the 12 steps is we take a daily inventory, and when we're wrong, we promptly admit it. So it's taking that daily inventory, seeing where we're at, seeing what the universe has for us. Again, it's trying to alleviate those surprises. That moment when somebody does something and what do we say? I can't believe they did that. It's like, no, we can believe it. If you ever have kids, I can't believe you did that. No, we absolutely believe they did it. We know what they're capable of. So, what does the universe have for us today? You know, one other thing I was thinking about, boy, was I just sitting here doing a lot of thinking when I was shuffling this morning, is that, so I've done hundreds now of these online readings. And the thing about getting stumped when you're doing a reading, and I guess the main thing is that if, you know, we're looking for a deeper insight. And that means if we're not getting stumped, then we're not shifting gears. We're not looking deeper. And then once you come up with something, it's like, I don't care what the keywords say or what the books say a card means. Half the time when I'm stumped, it's because it's contradicting what the books say. And it's like, my mind wants to be rational and say, but that's not what it's supposed to mean. But when we can let it go and not worry about what books say and things like that, that's the intuitive reading. That's when we're trusting ourselves. And maybe that's why I'll just go for the middle here for today, and we'll go for the heart. We'll go for the center in the reading today. So, I'll do my 3 and 1. Okay. So here we have the Valet de Prix. We have the Page of Swords. So this is, court cards can be us or other people or a situation, but this is about learning, understanding, about beginnings. And it makes absolute sense. As we learn, we grow. To the Seven of Cups. And sevens are about potentials and rewards. So it's one of those things where, talk about trusting, we start learning something, we learn something new, we gather up the information, we're not sure, but we don't let that stop us. Transitions happen only when there's, Aristotle says, ananauresis, when we have that revelation, when we allow ourselves to learn. If we're not learning, then we're not changing. And then the Seven of Cups is all about that potential. It's all about choices and where we're going. And so the page, if the page can learn to see things clearly, but not too literal. Because with the Marseille, keep in mind that we have our hard suits and we have our soft suits. The soft suits are examples like the cups. The hard suits are the swords. So sometimes we can be too literal, especially when we're younger. Let's turn over to the advice card. The Eight of Wands. So the main thing is that this is balanced out right here in the middle. We have our major. We have our number 13, our death card. And that is about transitions. So this is about learning. It's about allowing ourselves to move forward. Sevens are those things that guide us, those potentials. And the page is showing that even the smallest things could have the biggest impacts. But it's also saying that sometimes these revelations, things can move really fast. So what this is saying today is that as we develop these ideas, new ideas, being willing to come up with new ideas, to take new information, seeing things differently like a page does. So we all live in our own bubbles. I know that I'm in my own internet bubble, being an ultra liberal, everything else. And so I see on my Facebook page all the stuff that I want to see, because that's what Facebook does. Facebook feeds me everything that that keeps my eyes looking at it. So it's all the same stuff. But we also need to be able to move past all that crap and be, open to new ideas, new thoughts. I mean, I would never be anything other than a liberal, what can I say? But it's one of those things that when we open up to new horizons is when the change comes. So we need to look at what keeps us stagnant We need to look at where we get ourselves mired. Why do we stop thinking new ideas and new thoughts? It's one of those things. I mean, I'm almost 60 years old, so, I want to be that guy that goes, get off my grass. But actually, most of the people I know are 20 plus years younger than me. So I do feel younger. But it's one of those things about what do we need to do to let go of old ideas, to explore. We're never too old to change. They say old dogs can't learn new tricks. That's wrong. But things are moving fast in this world and everything else. Are we letting ourselves get stagnant? This is just saying that we need to be like the page. New thoughts, new ideas. Not to get stuck. That there are so many new things out there, so many wondrous things. And the world is moving really, really fast. Are we going to get stuck? And so this is saying that we pretty much need to move with the world because it's going to change regardless. But at least somebody who's a page sees the positive. They're absorbing stuff. They're young and they have the energy. And then they open up all these potentials that we find with the Seven of Cups. And seven, cups, emotions and spirituality and all these other things. So what are we doing to broaden our horizons? Yeah, he does look a little unenthusiastic, but if you look at him here, actually he looks like he's contemplating. And so what I've noticed before with him is that I've mentioned before that the tarot deck is the book of life. That's what, Thoth, the Thoth deck, when you look at the Crawley deck. And look at him looking at that and all the potentials and everything else that the Seven of Cups. The page is learned. And so being swords, being thought, maybe that's a look of revelation, like, I think I understand now, as he's on his path to becoming the king. I never realized how much that looked like a corset. But this is us being on the path to becoming the king. Again, cards are gender neutral. So let's absorb. Let's get out of our bubble. Let's get out of our way of thinking right now. I'm a classic rock guy. Greatest music ever made. The stuff they make today, pah! But then I listen to Billie Eilish or I listen to something new and it's like, that's actually pretty good. That's about as hardcore as you can get. And just that small little thing, make a transition. But it's one of those things, the eight of wands. Eights are about progress and moving forward. Eights are just like the 13th card here, because it's saying move forward. That's all. So what box are we stuck in? And I'm just going to say something like, because to me, music is meditating. And that was one of those things I had to break out of that box. And when I did, I found a whole new genre of music to start playing. But there's also, there's deeper things. So breaking out of our box so that we can see new potentials. and definitely about not lingering where we are. So, and with that, that's our Tuesday. We have our Wednesday still. So I hope everybody has an amazing day. And maybe we can get the page to look a little bit more enthusiastic. You know, let's see something here. Let's see what he was looking at in the past. See, he's moving past the Seven of Swords. Okay. The Eight of Coins. And the Papist. So he's been learning. These are things that he's learning from in the past. He's gone through a change. This is the path that leads to where he's ready to change. And that's what he's looking at. Ultimately, it came down to these false thoughts that go with the seven that makes us do things that can be negative. So he's done a lot of learning. Again, have an amazing day, everybody. I think he needs that good cup of coffee. Oh my gosh, you are right, Maureen. I'm gonna, yes. So take care, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.